9 o'clock. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First on the agenda is approve the minutes of October 24th, October 14th.
So, I'll move. I'll second that.
Moved by Meeks, seconded by Thompson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. We don't have any miscellaneous business, do we? I don't think so. No.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll start with our
I'll
9.
be in a minute.
Huh?
I'll be there in a minute.
Oh, okay, that's fine. We'll start with our 9:05, River City Construction Weekly Jail Update.
Morning.
Morning.
Looking at some of these dates, it looked like, we updated last week before we left and it looked like it didn't save, so the dates are a little off here. But as far as what's going on out there working on the brick, they finished up with most of it on south. They're gonna come to this north side, run the brick out where the scaffold is, and then, I believe the plan, or then they will move back to the Sallyport, get out of the way for the cells coming in a couple weeks. I believe the 11th of November is the date the cells are coming in. They'll probably be here that week before, doing some preliminary work, shooting in shims, stuff like that. Make sure everybody's out of their way, which they're doing pretty good. Mainly working on MEP rough-in. They're working on the above ceiling ductwork, plumbing, fire protection, running conduits overhead in the jail area, and the plumbers and electricians are doing all their in-wall rough-in in the sheriff's department, and they'll be moving upstairs before long to rough-in the second floor walls. The interior block they're still working on right there on the south or on the west side of the central control area. There's a few interior walls there, and they should be close to wrapping them up this week, if not next week. And they'll be primarily on brick until the cells are in, and then they'll start on those last few interior block walls. Roofers finished up last week detailing on the west roof. They're starting this morning on the Sallyport roof. And that's about it. Mainly rough-in, a lot of rough-in.
So I'm assuming, they come in and do a mock-up and make sure all the jail pods and everything's gonna fit fine. I'm assuming.
They've been here and measuring, but when they go in, they start rolling them in, and once they're all in, they start welding them down.
Yeah.
He said about 3 days they'll have them all unloaded and installed.
I'll be
I'll be curious. I've personally never seen it. I know Ryan's been on a couple projects with them, but they say it's an amazing thing to see.
Yeah.
Pretty well get out of their way and let them do their thing.
Exactly.
And the plan is, we've been talking with Poly Jail a little bit, the plan is, with the way things are, they're gonna be able to get in and hopefully keep somebody here, keep them busy, either doing metal wall panels or ceilings, or they got multiple things to do, but the plan is to keep them here and keep them working.
Yep. Great. More dry weather, maybe a little rain tonight, maybe.
The night isn't as bad.
Yeah.
Knock some dust down. It's
Yeah.
pretty dusty out there.
Yeah.
That was last time I seen the weather anyway. There was a chance of it today.
Oh, we could sure use it.
Yeah.
Settle the dust anyway.
Perfect.
Appreciate it.
The plan is go over pay app and the few change orders Wade and Sheriff have this week, so you all should see those next week.
They're coming.
Perfect.
Appreciate it, and have a good,
Thank you.
safe week.
You too.
Thank you.
We'll be in touch. That'll work.
How you doing, Wade?
Good. How are you?
All right. Morning, Wade. Tom's not here today. Feeling a little down. Had to go back to Topeka last Thursday.
Oh, here we go.
ahead of schedule, he might not be on yet.
Yeah.
We've got a 9/10 SEK RPC agreement with Director Carrie Spoon, is that right?
Yes.
I butcher names all the time, so I'm sorry if I do. And the State of Kansas Office of Recovery by Zoom. And technology is great when it works.
Only when it
does it work,
works.
it's not work.
And it never works for me at the beginning of a meeting, so
I agree.
Oh, exactly.
it's always a moment of panic.
We got 5 more minutes, so we're good.
Okay.
Hey Jordan, this is Andy. Can you see my screen at all? Okay. Let's see if I share that. Now can you see it? Okay. Okay, I may have to put you on speaker because my computer is not the,
External is.
yeah. Anyway, I'll get you on here, so. Okay? All right. You just be there, available here? Okay. All right. You go ahead, sir.
Okay, we're ready, Carrie. Good morning.
Good morning. I understand you had questions for me.
Well, we're
or
under.
Discussion.
We're under the agreement that we had between SEK RPC to file and to ensure the filings of our ARPA monies and what do I want to say, the recording of it and the information sent to the state and feds. And I guess that was not done by your all's office.
Yes, this year we did encounter problems. Taylor was the one who had been working with your county since 21 when we entered into that agreement. And when I came on board beginning of February, there's historically been problems with getting access to the portal for all of the reporting. Taylor stayed on till the end of May to try and help with that. She had to do all the other reports other than the 2 that I had been on since 2021. And unfortunately, Coffee County was one I couldn't get access to. I think last week the Treasury just was able to work everything out. It doesn't look quite right, but when Taylor logged in mid-April, it looked when she went to start inputting all the information, the screenshot she sent me showed that a spreadsheet, a pretty extensive spreadsheet, was needed with information from the broadband part of your ARPA funds. And so then there was communication with that contractor. It was end of June when they completed that spreadsheet, and I still could not get in. I understand Angie, when she logs in, can see that she's given me permission, but when I log in from my end, I couldn't see anybody other than Wilson and Cherokee County. So I continue to send emails to Treasury. I need access, and that's, I started getting a reply from them end of, not last week, week before. So, yeah, unfortunately, our office was not able to get that report submitted for you this year.
So, I mean, I guess,
In February.
what's that?
We paid in February.
Yeah.
For 2023's work. We bill after the work is done, so the invoice that Taylor sent out before she left and that was paid at the beginning of '24 was for the report she submitted in
2023. And that was in February.
Double check here, just to make sure. Be sure that was.
Well, I mean, I have to, it, I guess, troubles me that there was reports that was due in April, and we wasn't notified that the reports weren't being reported to the proper people until, I believe Angie got a call from the feds that,
And then the State Department of Recovery.
the state, that nothing had been filed that was due in April. And so we could have, if they wouldn't have called us and nothing would have been from you all to the county, we would have had to pay back millions of dollars in funds, is the way I understand it. Am I reading this correctly?
That part, paying back millions of funds, I'm not aware of that. There had been communication with Angie and myself and Taylor, in news in April and May. We were still waiting on the spreadsheet from the contractor, and that, it would get submitted as soon as possible.
And
then, unfortunately.
I don't know if that contractor is probably QuickCom, or I don't know who the contractor
MT Network.
MT Networks. So, what's that gentleman's name?
Jordan.
Jordan, do you have anything to come in on this?
Yeah, so essentially what we did reach out based off of was how we, our methodology. Treasury actually does upload annually their published data of all cities and counties in each state and, territories that have completed their due reporting as of that period, corresponding to their reporting cadence and your position for Coffee County that consists annually. They don't give us again, it's just fully public data that anybody can access on their website. If you're curious, if you'd like to just look up SLFRF public data, you can find the database that we found this information off of. So what they do is they release all cities and counties in each state that have completed their due reporting as of the most recent deadline. And then what we did is we took that comprehensive list of those that had submitted, and then we subtracted it from our total contact list, which of course would have left us with those that did not submit. As Angie did say, we're with the state. I'm with what's called the Kansas Office of Recovery. We essentially manage and monitor all federal COVID funds that came through the American Rescue Plan Act to the state beginning in 2021. And the report that we did just fill out is called the Project and Expenditure Report, as you were able to, Angie did have on our screen a second ago. And that is submitted directly to the U.S. Department of Treasury. And they do send out correspondence, about reporting, just any pertinent reporting updates. That normally goes to the point of contact. And, say if there has been staff turnover or if portal rules have not been updated for the county, then there may have just been, a delay in the chain of correspondence there. So that's essentially where we're going to step in. Even though the reporting does not go to us, we cannot see it, and in a way, we really aren't even affiliated with it. We still just want to do our due diligence for all cities and counties in Kansas that hadn't completed their due reporting, just to make sure they are where they need to be. And as you know, Coffee County does now have its report submitted, which is great. I'm glad we were able to get that in. But yes, that is why we did reach out. And then it was my understanding, Angie, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't quite remember, is Coffee County fully extended with its ARPA funds at this point?
Yes.
Okay, it is. Okay, great. So there are no deadlines as far as the funds themselves go that you need to worry about in terms of having to return money. The most pertinent deadline right now that exists for those with remaining funds is the obligation deadline at the end of this year. So December 31st, 2024. By that point, all remaining funds need to be obligated, which is not extended, but it just means, under some sort of binding agreement requiring you, the recipient, to pay for costs incurred. That could have been under contract, subaward, subrecipient agreement, purchase order, et cetera. And any remaining funds that did not meet that deadline would have needed to go back to Treasury. So that is the only situation in which you would have needed to forfeit funds. But again, you are fully expended, so you don't need to worry about that. And again, just getting your report in on time, of course, that just ensures, say anything like an audit were to happen, that's ensuring your county's where it needs to be. But yes, so as far as the deadline goes and, the possibility of having to return any funds, that is not a worry here, I can tell you that. And then the only other pertinent deadline after this for your county will be when the next report is due in April of course, next year.
So was I correct in my thinking if this report wouldn't have been filed by the end of the year, we would have to pay back the amount of money that was there?
You shouldn't have had to because, again, it was fully expended. Of course, again, this reporting does go to Treasury, and I can never speak on their behalf or with the state. We're not affiliated with them. But generally, that is by December 31st of this year, funds only would have needed to be returned per their guidance if they were not under obligation. So any funds that did not meet the obligation deadline by the end of this year, that is when they would have needed to go back to Treasury. If they were fully obligated, as long as you are able to reflect that in a report, which we just did, then you wouldn't have had to worry about returning any of those funds. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes.
Okay, great.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I guess my question to Carrie is, what do we do in February with this contract where nothing was filed, or one quarter was filed, right? So you filed April or no? You didn't file anything for 2024, basically.
2020,
So coming into 2025, we will pay for the services rendered in 2024.
yes. And that is where my executive board, who met last week, wanted me to extend an invitation for someone from the commission to attend our November 14th meeting at 10 to discuss that part.
Okay. To discuss the shortfall or whatever.
How you would like to proceed. I'm not authorized to make that determination.
Okay.
But they would very much like to have a conversation about it.
Okay.
November 14th,
Yes.
at what time?
10. Let me double check that I've got the right date. Should be the second Thursday. Yep. November 14th at 10. And that's at our office in Chute.
Okay. So they would like to discuss this contract, basically,
Yes.
and the fees that go with this contract.
Yes.
Okay. I guess we'll have to get somebody on the list for November 14th.
Will that be in person or by Zoom?
We can do it either way. We do have some board members who attend by Zoom and then others that do attend in person. That is up to you.
Since it deals with a contract that legally binds the county, I'd like to be a part of that.
Okay.
If it's by Zoom, I can participate.
Okay. If you would like to send me an email, that way we can email the Zoom, the link to you.
Sure. Just so you know, you can pass off to your board. I don't know how often you meet. For our once a month, so the next time you'll meet at that November meeting.
Yes.
If you can pass to them that I've reviewed the agreement and there are some concerns that I have that I'm not gonna air here, but I think we need to have a discussion.
Okay.
So,
Prior to the meeting, is that what you're asking for?
no, it could be then.
Then at the meeting?
And I've got my concerns outlined in a document that I have that would be work product right now.
Would it be beneficial to have you discuss with our attorney prior to that meeting?
That would be fantastic.
Okay. I will let Dave know.
I guess, I mean, does anybody else have any questions for you?
Well, I mean, if one of us just meets though, then we can't make a decision, one of us, can we?
I'm not sure right now, my opinion. I think that conversation needs to take place and then bring that back to the board, and since it deals with the contract, depending on what that is, discuss it further. But there may be a mutual resolution that may come up, and that could be discussed post that November meeting. But at least to get it on the radar and to have that discussion related to what those concerns are, and ultimately for this board to make a decision whether the current agreement continues or not. I mean, there's a mechanism for the county to exit that agreement if that's what the county so chooses, but I'm not sure that's where you are right now. I think we might want to wait until that November meeting and then make that decision.
Looks like there's a lot more discovery that has to be done
I agree.
before. I think it'd be good if our attorney met with your attorney and induced a lot of that discovery for us. So.
I guess get with Wade and Angie, I guess, and see what we need to do as far as a Zoom meeting for the meeting on the 14th November, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
So.
I will have Dave get in contact with you and go from there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
very
you.
much.
Jordan, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, I think we're done then.
Thanks, Jordan.
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys have any more questions for me, or shoot me an email or give me a call back, and I'll be more than happy to discuss further.
Okay, appreciate it.
Okay, you guys take care.
You too. All you people here?
I think
All right.
so. Are you ready for me?
We'll go up, come on up.
All right, sounds good.
Coffee County Health Systems Quarterly Report.
Yes. Thank you so much for setting some time aside to meet with me today. I really appreciate it. I've met all three of you at one point or another, but I know you've met a lot of folks between now and then. So just as a reminder, I'm Stacy Augustine. I took over the CEO role on August 1st for Coffee Health after Jovan decided to move back home. So I brought a couple folks with me today. You guys know Steve Hopkins, he's our board chair. He's been with us for many years. And then a new face for you, this is Raymond Ledbetter. He is our CFO, joined us full-time at the end of July, correct? Yeah. So we're very fortunate and excited to have him. So. All right, so we will just dive right into updates. So the biggest update, I think that everybody always wants to know is financial and how everything's going. No surprise, it's a difficult time to be in healthcare right now. The National Rural Hospital Association for Rural Health has estimated that 58% of rural hospitals in Kansas are at risk for closure this year, and 28% of those are at immediate risk, which those are scary and staggering numbers. And it's very important that we're aware of those numbers and that we're doing everything that we can to make sure that we are stable. 84% of those rural hospitals in Kansas are going to be operating at a loss this year, is what they're recommending. So some of the financial challenges that we face, as well as all other hospitals in Kansas, it's no different than what each one of us in this room are experiencing right now. It's inflation. The cost of everything is going up. The cost of supplies, the cost of labor, the cost of benefits, it's all going up. And in most businesses, you're able to offset some of those costs, whereas in healthcare, we do struggle with being able to do that. An example that I like to use with our own staff is housing, for example. If you're going to build a house, but the cost of materials has went up and the cost of labor has went up, you as the person who's wanting to build the house, it's going to cost you more. In healthcare, our supplies are going up, our labor is going up, but we can't just raise our prices. Or we could, but unfortunately we are at the mercy of the insurance payers. So if an exam is costing $100 and we need to raise that to $150, doesn't really matter because insurance is still only going to pay us $90 for it. So we're really at the mercy of insurance, as well as some folks are just not able to pay their bill, and we still have to see them. Another piece that sometimes we struggle with is insurance companies. They're looking for every reason not to pay. I'm sure everybody in this room at some point has experienced insurance. Maybe you need a procedure done and they tell you, well, have you tried physical therapy first? Have you tried this medication first? Have you tried to walk it off before they'll actually pay for your procedure? So then on the back side of it, the hospital is also experiencing that. They are looking for ways, every way, to not pay us. They'll come up with, well, you didn't get a prior authorization, it doesn't meet medical necessity, your documentation is incorrect. So it is a constant battle with those insurance companies, but we're sure doing the best that we can. Another piece or another challenge is those essential services that are simply not profitable. The emergency department is one of those. Every single one of us absolutely know that we need to have an emergency department that's open 24/7, 365, that is staffed and ready for the off chance that one of us would need it. But again, that comes with a large expense that doesn't make money and doesn't sustain itself, which is why all of our other service lines that are profitable and making sure that we keep care local is important, because it does fund and float those essential services. So the big question is how's Coffee County doing with all of that being said? So I do have some information for you guys that I will pass out here.
Sensation. Have you got enough? We've got two of our
Absolutely.
commissioners right
Oh,
here,
yes.
if you don't
We
mind.
just make a pile for them.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Stacy.
Absolutely. So in your packet, I did provide you with a profit loss statement. It is year to date, so it goes to August. We're still finalizing September's numbers. And you will notice that it does have a loss of $664,000 approximately year to date. Don't let that number be a sticker shock to you. The year is not over yet. There is still opportunity to improve that number, and we do expect that to improve for a couple of reasons. September.
There's also room for it to go the other
There
way,
is, but I'm pretty determined to not let it do that.
Okay.
But yes, you are exactly right, and we're going to talk about what we're doing. So our busier months are coming. Fourth quarter for hospitals are always a little bit busier for a number of reasons. It's the sick season, which is unfortunate for the community, but fortunate for the hospital. We also see folks coming in for preventative care, for procedures. Everybody's trying to sneak in those last minute things before insurance rolls over after the first of the year. So we are hopeful for some busier months coming up. And then we also have quite a few initiatives that we are working on to improve our financial position, not only for this year, but moving forward, that I'm also going to cover here in just a bit. But one of the important takeaways from the profit loss statement that you're looking at is the importance of the county subsidy to the hospital. We're very fortunate that we have your support and that we have this community support. There's other hospitals that they don't have that, and they're struggling far worse than what we are. So I just want to thank you for your continued support and acknowledge that is a huge reason why we are here today. Because without your support, I don't know that we would be here. So we do appreciate your continued support. This year we have had some capital expenses come up that we needed to take care of, all of them related to facilities for the most part. So I just wanted to share with you some of the big expenses that we've had for the year. We did have a rooftop AC unit over our emergency department that unfortunately stopped working. If you had to be in our emergency department, you would see that we had some mobile AC units in there for a while. So we did have to go ahead and replace that unit, which came to just over $113,000. A very similar unit over our 200 hall will actually be replaced on Wednesday, so you'll see a big crane in our parking lot because we are replacing another AC unit that is giving us trouble. It is original to that section of the building, and it's going to come in at about $127,000. We also had a hematology machine, which is a piece of equipment in lab that runs very basic but very necessary tests for lab. You wouldn't be able to have emergency room services without it. It was end of life, could no longer be serviced, and it was starting to show us signs that it would quit at any time. So we went ahead and did replace that. It was just under $38,000. And then we do have a small roofing project as well that will come in at just over $12,000, which brings us to a total for the year of about $290,000, just over, in capital expense. And again, most of those being facility related. Unfortunately, I would much rather have capital expense and some fancy new equipment that we could improve or bring new services to the community, but we have to take care of our infrastructure first. So we do have two other items on our capital budget list that I would consider to be of critical need. One of those is a sewer line that runs the length of the facility. It is original to the facility, and it needs to be replaced. And we have one preliminary bid. We would need to do the formal bid process with it, but we're estimating at just over $60,000 for that, as well as a hot water heater. Not your small residential hot water heater, as you can imagine. It's quite large. It's leaking. It's rusty. It needs to be replaced. It's also original to the building, and it's going to be about $85,000. So those are two big expenses that we have coming up very quickly that we are also going to need to account for. And I point those out because in my turnover with Jobin, he had mentioned that the profits from the sale of the Meadows land, that you all had not decided what you wanted to do with those yet. So if we were to be given those funds, these are the projects that those would go towards. Probably the sewer line replacement first, followed by that hot water heater. As far as initiatives that we are working on to improve our financial position, again, not only for this year but moving forward, we've got a lot of things going. One of those being the automation and optimization of our EMR, which is our electronic medical record. You guys are well aware that we transitioned our EMR almost 2 years ago now. 2 years ago, so it feels like we should be there by now. But it's one of those big undertakings, and it does take some time to get all of those processes flowing the way that they should. And we've identified some holdups that we are now fixing and correcting that should be able to improve the efficiency of our processes as far as billing. We're also working on reducing contract staffing. Contract staffing is really expensive. It's a necessary evil. When you're short-staffed, you have no choice but to get some of that contract labor in there to help offset and provide continued care to the community, but it does come with a cost. So we are looking at new and innovative ways of how can we reduce and eliminate contract staffing. One of those is through international staffing. We currently have 2 lab techs from the Philippines that have been with us for a number of years now. They are part of our community. They own a home here. They're wonderful, and their work ethic is just superior. They are wonderful. We're so blessed to have them. And so we actually have 2 more Philippine lab techs that will be joining us by the end of this year. As you can imagine, that's a process to get them over here. So they're in process now, but we have experienced some delays with it. We also have a nurse that has joined us from Mexico. So just a couple of things that we're doing to reduce that contract staffing.
So is that all under contract labor?
Mm-hmm.
That's where all the contract nurses are staffing?
Yes.
Is that?
Yes. Yep.
So year to date, that's almost $2 million.
Yes, it is expensive.
So can you use some of that money to raise wages to try to attract more permanent help?
That's certainly what we would like to do. Yeah. You have to get to that spot to be able to do that first, and it is difficult to recruit to our area. But yes, I would much rather eliminate contract staffing and reinvest that into our own staff if possible.
I mean, they're at a premium rate, I'm
Absolutely.
sure.
Yes, and in that contract staffing number 2, it's also important to point out that does, keep me honest, does include physician contract rates as well. So if we have ER providers that are helping provide ER coverage, they would be in that figure as well, which is probably a bulk of it, would be ER.
In addition, some of it's in the pro fees as well,
Mm-hmm.
2 lines down.
Yes. Mm-hmm. But yes, you're exactly right. We would much rather be investing in our own staff than contract
Right,
labor.
I mean, because are they twice as high as your normal staff or 3 times?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it depends on the position, but yes, it is far more costly.
So your pro fees, that's your physicians?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So you're almost $3 million. You're almost $3 million in out of hospital
Non-employed.
non-employees.
Mm-hmm. Is our CRNAs included in that as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So our CRNAs, which is our anesthesia coverage, would be a 9 to 12.
In the pro.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that is that is expensive because your anesthesia coverage, to be able to provide OB services, we have to have anesthesia available 24/7, 365. So that becomes very costly. Another initiative beyond that we're working on is improving our upfront collections and collections in general, so after services are provided. So we have secured some resources to assist us with following up on outstanding accounts, as well as, again, optimizing that EMR to be able to collect upfront those co-pays and things like that to improve cash flow. We also just recently implemented a new self-pay policy. This is for truly folks that have no insurance, completely uninsured. It incentivizes them to not only pay their bill, but to pay it in a timely manner. It gives them a discount of up to 50% if they pay it in full within 30 days. We also have the 340B program. It is a complicated program, but it deals with pharmacies and prescriptions, both retail as well as our internal pharmacy, and we're able to collect revenue off of that. It's a huge source of revenue for us, very important to the hospital. We are continually bringing on new pharmacies to try to tap into additional revenue there. The Meadows is doing very well. They are full with a wait list. However, as we have increased that census, of course, we've had to increase staff and increase costs to run the Meadows. So we will be looking at rates just to make sure that we are profitable there, and there might be some adjustments at the first of the year. And then, of course, we're always reviewing service lines, both from an expansion standpoint as well as a reduction standpoint. So we have to do our due diligence to make sure that, if a service line is not profitable, what can we do to make it profitable? And if it doesn't have a huge community impact, is it a service that we eliminate? And on the flip side, and the more exciting side, we're constantly looking for service lines that we could bring in to keep care local that would also be profitable. One of those being orthopedics. We are actively jointly recruiting an orthopedic provider for our area. I would say we're about 1 to 2 years out. Recruitment takes some time, and then to actually get them through all those hoops, we're a little ways out, but we're very hopeful to have orthopedics again in our community soon. The other piece, a big part of my job, is building community relationships and partnerships, both locally and regionally. Again, I shared some numbers with you at the beginning that lots of small hospitals are struggling in Kansas. So we really have to work together. And one of those pieces is potentially joint provider recruitment, kind of like orthopedics, like I was talking about. So Coffee County, our numbers show that we couldn't support a full-time orthopedic provider, but perhaps we could part-time. So is there another hospital close to us that also needs a part-time orthopedic provider where we could potentially share? So just getting creative with some of those options with those around us. Just some general updates, again, service line provider recruitment. I'm very excited. We have recruited a new family practice provider that will start with us next year. I have a signed preliminary agreement, but not an official agreement, so I'm, out of respect for her, I'm not going to share her name just yet. But we have a fantastic group of physicians. They're very loyal, and they provide great care to our community. They all came about the same time, which in the back of my mind, thinking to the future, tells me they will probably all leave about the same time as well. So it's important that we think ahead and that we start some of those recruitment efforts. And so I'm very excited that we do have a new provider that's going to be joining us hopefully next summer. In closing, I did provide all of you with a list of our upcoming meetings as well as education sessions. You guys are always more than welcome to join us at any of our board meetings or those education sessions that we hold. Or if you just want to have some one-on-one time, please feel free to give me a call. I'm more than happy to sit down and have one-on-one conversations, give you a tour, dive more into whatever you would like to dive into. Very open to that. And then I also wanted to allow Steve some time to speak with you as well. We do have some upcoming vacancies on our board that he wanted to be able to speak to as well.
On your contract labor, we talked about that a little bit. We know that's very expensive.
It is, yeah.
And I don't know how many employees are involved in that. Does that end up creating a negative
Work environment?
work environment? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you know,
Work environment for your other 200 employees or however many?
it's a good question. It's a double-edged sword, for
I
sure.
can see it being a triple-edged sword.
That's true. If not quadruple, yes. It can, because staff is well aware that contract labor is paid more.
I'm sure.
And, we pay the company directly for that contract labor, so I couldn't tell you what the actual employee themselves gets to see.
So they're working under another company?
Under another company.
Not
They sure
working
do.
individually?
No, very rarely. We do have a couple of internal contracts, if you will. Those are typically cheaper, but usually it's through a company. And the reason it's a double-edged sword is because, it is upsetting to staff. Like you said, I would much rather take those funds and invest it into our own staff than into contract labor. But in the same respect, they're also thankful for the help, because if that contract labor is not there, that work still has to get done. So they do provide us relief that's desperately needed, especially in those clinical areas. Night shift, we all know that that's a tough area to staff. So if it's not contract labor that's covering that, it's our own staff, and you're looking at burning people out. So it's twofold. If I could do away with them and have all full-time and part-time employees that are our own, that's absolutely the goal, without a doubt.
How many employees do you currently have?
Probably about 240, 250.
I know we can't afford to lose a service. I mean,
Absolutely
it
not.
seems like everything you hear that rural America and our hospitals is not in a good financial situation.
It's an uphill battle. Yes, I was talking with a friend of mine that works at what I would consider to be a medium-sized facility, and they budgeted to lose $18 million this year, and they're excited because they're only going to lose $10 million. And unfortunately, that's the world of healthcare right now, and it's scary because you can't operate like that forever. More motivation for us to make sure that we're doing everything that we can to do what we can to keep those doors open. So
your 240 or 250 is full-time staff?
that would include
Well,
our
let's just say
PRNs.
Right,
Yes.
and your physicians, your doctors, everything?
Yes, our employed physicians. Yep.
That's
and
not
PRNs.
taking into account the pros or
The contract labor.
contract labor?
No, it wouldn't. No.
About how many would it take for you to be, if you could hire them, to be fully staffed?
Oh my goodness. It depends on the area.
Be a fair amount.
It would be. It would be. Yeah.
We take the salaries at $10 million, and some of those salaries are leaving our county because they live outside the county. But how many dollars of that is spent in Coffee County? I mean, the value, on top of the employment, the value of the money being regenerated in Coffee County for them.
Absolutely. And, as I was preparing to speak with all of you today, I was looking at some different resources, and I decided to save a tree and not print it all off for you, but a really great resource is the Kansas Hospital Association. If you go out to their website, they have a lot of great information that explains hospital finances in a very easy to understand way, but they also offer a lot of information on economic impacts that hospitals have in the community as well.
Some rough numbers, about 2.5 times every dollar spent is the economic impact.
It seems like you normally hear that's either 6 or 8, but I think that's exaggerated. I think you're 2.5. That's still a lot of money being rotated.
Yeah, being rolled back in.
Yeah. Okay, there's no further questions. Again, thank you all so much for your continued support. I really do appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And I will turn the floor over to Steve.
Thank you, Stacy.
Good morning. First of all, Stacy, excellent job. Thank you. Appreciate the time. I thought this might be a good opportunity because we're here in almost the middle of October. We've got 3 board members that their terms expire at the end of the year. I've talked to each of them. One is not going to reapply. We've got one other that is going to reapply, and then one that's, his words, he's on the fence. He hasn't decided. So I would encourage you, from my perspective, the experience is invaluable as a board member because it's a complex process, and we want to have that experience to provide the oversight. And also, the board put their heads together and came up with attributes that would be very
I'm going to
beneficial.
put one here for Steve.
Oh, you bet.
Thank you.
Separated. Thank you.
One for Tom as well.
Yes. Would you like one?
So you're thinking 1 to 2 that you may be looking at?
Yes. The one that's been on the board actually a year longer than I have, and this is my 11th year, he wants to reapply. And I would really encourage you to reappoint him. I appreciate that. Another one that's been on for about 9 years has decided he's got too much stuff going on in his life, and so he's done a good job. I will miss him. The other one is fairly new. I think you just appointed him late last year, and he's the one that's on the fence for us.
Okay.
So if somebody had all these attributes, that would be outstanding, but it's just a shopping list, if you will, when you consider applicants and stuff. Just recommendations, things to consider.
How many board members are there on CHS?
9. Yeah, and it's designed to where they're 3-year terms. So every year you have 3 of the 9 either going off the board or being reappointed. And that's all I really wanted to communicate this morning, unless you have anything else for me.
I probably already should have the answer. Are these applications, they come through the county or they go direct to CHS?
Oh, they're through the county.
Directly to CHS?
No, they're through.
No.
Through county?
Through the county.
I was thinking they were, but.
No, we don't typically see them until after you've dealt with them.
Well, I wonder, and this would be January 1 when their terms expire.
December 31st.
December.
New one's January 1st, yes.
I almost wonder if we had not started advertising for applications for that board at this time.
You don't have a lot of time between
No,
now and the end of the year.
it'll be
you're
here
right.
before we know it, especially
Yeah.
with all the holidays
Yeah.
coming in. So it'd be
Maybe,
probably looking at 2 positions.
probably, but
I mean,
I can't speak for the one that has.
If either one of these want to re-up, they've got the clout and the knowledge to re-up.
Yes, I'll encourage
And
any
encourage-
reapplication. to
Instead of having to
reappoint.
try to retrain somebody,
Exactly.
so, or,
Reorient or whatever the
Yeah,
case is.
yeah.
can't say retrain, but, yeah,
Yeah.
people, sure will be taken out of context.
It takes a little time to learn the position, I'm sure.
Very much so. Okay, well, thank you very much for your time.
You're
Okay,
welcome,
thank
thank
you.
you.
I think it'd be good to go ahead and
Yeah, we should
re-advertise,
advertise,
so.
yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Have a great day.
If you'll wanna do the same for the fire district board, that looks like it has 2 that are set to expire at the same time. So if you're doing it for one, do it for both.
Might as well get started on it before the end of the year. Proactive.
Okay, I'm out there.
Jail bond award, is that Zoom or is that in person? Is it Greg? Who's the jail bond? No?
So,
Great.
Is it Greg Bloomberg?
well, I think there's a process sort of going on behind the scenes that's when things kick off. Just, schedule bond council's here, meeting with Richard, 10 o'clock, bids received online to purchase the bonds. 10 to 11, bond council. Raymond James worked to finalize details of the bond. Ultimately, it looks like between 11:30 and 12, the final information will be presented to this board, bond resolution and bond documents. So there's a process moving on behind the scenes.
So we don't have to worry about anything at 10 o'clock?
Not here.
Right.
Bond council's with Richard, and there's sort of a online bond bidding process going on.
Right.
And then,
Just sell those bonds.
yep.
Okay. Well, it was just on the 10.
That's why I
Right, it
put
was
it
at
on,
10
but-
o'clock, and so I didn't know.
So they may come in and give you an update, but I'm not sure there's gonna be action requested from the board until things are finalized. They're gonna have to plug numbers, make sure the minimum amount to lock it in has been presented and it's in the county's coffers or wherever, an escrow account, I'm not sure. But
Do you want to take a break till 10 o'clock? I guess, and see what happens. I don't want to get started on Ryan. He's got an executive session in here for 15 minutes.
no, I think you probably need to reserve that 10 o'clock just in case they come in and
Okay.
they provide an update.
Then if they don't show up, we'll jump into Ryan and get to rolling.
Right.
Fair? Johnson, do you have any words of wisdom for us this morning? Okay. We'll take a break. We'll come back at 10 o'clock. All right, it's 10 o'clock. We're waiting to see if anything comes in for the jail bond award. We'll give them a few minutes. If they don't show up, we'll roll over into Road and Bridge.
That's a scheduled for a 30-minute session, so.
Yeah, we're not gonna give them 30 minutes, so. Am I the only one that signed on this?
Yep.
Have a wait and we can go through these checks and vouchers.
Have you ever used the low highs? They work pretty good, but not as good as they do on YouTube. I think the people in YouTube, the hives are in farther south, so the honey flows a lot better. But I got 8 of them. Right now, I just stacked a big fat of big onyx. My wife bought the original one. It's an 8-frame. It's 800.
And her little,
I just
Yeah,
bought
she said-
the frames, and John
well, he
Mascot
said
and I modified it.
one's reopened, one's not,
Oh, okay.
and one's on
Doors
the
and flaps
fence,
on it.
I believe
But
it.
I still need to say.
It works.
Well, I would say two,
If you only want 1 or 2 knives and you don't want to have.
because the
pull
one's
hives,
gonna reopen, and there's no sense in
Distracted.
replacing something,
Right,
Good.
right.
unless they're not.
So, is that what we should do when, like, you have like housing authority, we have one that, is on, if he's re-upped?
I would check to see if they're gonna re-up for.
They are, yeah.
But you gotta-
I wouldn't even advertise it.
The
Okay.
frames, you have
I only
to
advertise what,
take melt wax and
Okay,
We
so I
know
understood
rub
you were gonna advertise
wax
it,
across
and then
those
it would
frames
be
so
up.
the diesel take to it.
Okay, I mean, I just wanted to know the right way.
Most people use plastic frames, they don't like, you gotta, even though they say they're wax, you gotta put a coat of wax.
I agree.
As soon as you do
I
that,
agree.
they'll draw it out.
Yeah.
Or if you catch a swarm and
Yeah.
put a
Which
swarm
I
on wax
did
frame,
re-advertise for
they'll
the
draw it
housing
out.
authority, but he's on one side,
Yeah,
so.
yeah, I didn't mean in that instance, I
Right.
just meant in general, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
So the conversation of board advertising, even though, let's just use the hospital because it's what's fresh. They've got 3 coming up. One says he wants to re-up, one says no, and one's on the fence. Should we go ahead and advertise because we've done this on the zoning and planning, I think, still advertise for 3?
I think ultimately if you want the process to be consistent across the board, you advertise for all open positions. If someone who's currently on a board wants to remain on a given board, they apply, you take that into consideration, but ultimately, let's say, whatever the board is, that you want to go in a different direction for whatever reason, then the process is transparent and fair across the board. That's
Yeah,
fine.
we're doing the same thing for all appointed boards then.
After I said that, I got to thinking about that and Wade as well, so.
And it may be that when somebody who's on a board and wants to reapply, there's some sort of designation on it that they're asking to be reappointed. So I think that's obvious to each of you, but for record purposes, to keep track so somebody wants to go back and see the transparency of the process. I mean, like I said before, when I first got here, the issue was Don could go run down to the post office and say, hey, after you get your mail, got a question for you, do you want to be on a board? Yeah, I'll be on the board. Next week he comes and says, John Smith at the post office said he'd want to be on the board. Okay, he's appointed to the board, and that's not to me, that's not the best process, because people need to apply, they need to know, and this way it's open for anybody who wants to be on a board. But if you have somebody who wants to re-up on a board and overall their attendance and performance on that board is something that you feel is noteworthy, then they should get consideration of being reappointed to that board.
Absolutely.
But it's at your discretion as a board, so whoever you appoint is, to me, that's the fair way to do it.
Okay. Then we'll advertise for 3. Gave them 6 minutes, probably fair that they're not coming.
Nope, they'll be here at some point.
Okay. We'll move on. Road and Bridge Superintendent Ron Durst, you're up, sir.
Good morning.
Morning.
I've got a few motions to go over today. Start with call-outs. We have no call-outs this weekend, so that's always a good thing. It's just overnight stay for Adam and I. Coming up December, we got KC conference down in Wichita. So we'll be down there for a couple days. Blade position. So we had the retirement, and we advertised for that, and we wound up interviewing a couple in-house applicants for that. And so we have Nathan Hollinger is going to be the new blade guy up in that area. So he was currently on our asphalt crew, the lead operator on that crew. So he's going to be going over to the blade. So we started doing some training last week, and I think I'm excited for that. He's a young kid that really wants to learn and do a good job. So I think he'll work out well there. And next, we had one resignation in our office. Sadie, she just going on to bigger and better things. So she was a great employee. Hate to see her go. She'll be missed, but we'll need to start the process and looking for her replacement. So I think she's the end of next week or this week.
I don't remember what the date was.
Yeah. So
There's a young lady there. No,
Yep.
well, you gotta wish her well.
No, I mean, that's it.
You know,
And
you
when-
don't wanna lose any.
No, that's it. And when she interviewed, and, I mean, she let us know that she wasn't gonna retire here, so.
Yeah.
You know, she's young and had, you know, a lot of things going on, and so just timing's right, and so we'll definitely wish her the best, because we hate to lose her.
Sure.
So with that, first motion I've got is just to advertise, I'm sorry, actually, the second motion.
Second one, yeah. Based on the recommendation, Road and Bridge Superintendent to advertise and hire one full-time office coordinator. No new positions being added. This request will only fill vacant position due to voluntary resignation.
That's a move.
Oh, second.
Seconded by Meeks, moved by Thompson. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
All right, thank you. We can go back, I jumped ahead of myself, but, since filling that blade position, we now have another position open in-house. And so that would be for an asphalt crew leader. So, next motion is just to advertise in-house only for that position.
Based upon recommendation, Road and Bridge Superintendent to advertise and hire one full-time crew leader in-house. No new position being added. This request will only fill vacant positions within the department due to position transfer. I'll move.
I'll second.
Moved by Knight, seconded by Meeks. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
All right, thanks. Next I've got an executive session, but I think I'll go ahead and.
Let the
Yeah.
bond. Richard, you're up.
We would like to meet somewhere around 11.
Okay. 11 o'clock.
Everything was done successfully. TD Securities was the best bid.
Who was it, sorry?
TD Securities.
TD, okay.
I don't know where they are.
Probably out of New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll have details for you.
11 o'clock.
11 is proceeding, we have to wait for a prepaid deposit and some other documents to get finalized, so.
At 11, you said? Okay.
Very well.
That's our best guess.
Well, if it moves, it moves.
Yeah.
We're here all day.
All right, we'll let you know.
Thank you. So we'll flip back to Brian.
No, I'm not saying. So next, I'd like to request a 15-minute executive session, for the board, myself and Wade, to discuss, non-elected personnel.
Motion to enter executive session for 15 minutes
Yeah.
to include each of the commissioners, Road and Bridge Superintendent Ryan Durst and County Councilor Wade Bowie, to discuss personal matters of non-elected personnel regarding
Job performance.
job performance.
Also,
Yep, go ahead.
also move.
I'll second that.
Moved by Meeks, seconded by Thompson. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I will enter at, let's make it 10:13. We can make it out there. 10:13 for 15 minutes. And it just turned. And you was happy to have it, wasn't you?
Is that okay? And I know from the window time.
Oh, it was hot.
But I
Well,
just-
while we was on that,
Yeah.
that guy was on your phone, it's hard to hear when the trucks go by.
You get it pretty cold, this leaves me out.
Okay, we're back. I guess it's safe to say no action taken.
Yep. That is all the discussion points I had for today. I don't know, you guys have anything, questions for me?
I noticed up at 50 Highway, they put a felt down on
Mhm.
top of the shoulder.
paving fabric.
Yeah, so that, but that was just on the shoulder, it wasn't on the whole,
Correct.
across the whole road.
Yeah.
Are they doing the paving fabric underneath the 2-inch lay on the whole road, or just on that shoulder?
Just on the shoulder.
So
Basically, anytime you have a seam, which ways, I mean, the shoulder extension is a seam.
Right.
They'll lay a fabric there, sometimes at intersections.
So it's mainly to cover up the seam from the shoulder to the road. So the outside part of the shoulder, if wind blows it up, it's loose, it's not that big of a deal, as long as it's on over the seal. I had some people asking about that.
Yeah.
And so my assumption was right, but I just wanted to ask that question.
I had a couple different people at the county auction comment how good Highway 50 looked like it's gonna be.
Yeah, it's gonna be,
Appreciated it.
it's gonna be nice. You know, they're still working on that 2-inch overlay, so, I mean, they're hopefully a couple weeks, ought to be on the, about done.
How are they doing? Is the south shoulder paved all the way?
Yeah, you know, they got all the shoulder asphalt in. They've done, one lane, started east and working west. It did like a mile and a half there Friday.
Oh, okay.
So they'll get the one lane done all the way to Lebo and then turn around. Then they'll have some shoulder rock to put on after that, and some guardrail on a few structures. Maybe some minimal seating, but yeah, once they get this overlay done.
Good, it'll be nice.
Yep.
Got the paint on Fauna Road, got the.
Yep, I think we got all of our paint striping done.
Looks good.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you, Ron.
I appreciate it.
Thanks very much.
Now, we will go Road and Bridge Supervisor at lunch.
Good morning.
Long time no see.
Good morning.
Yeah. Glad it's over.
I will be down later.
Yeah, I seen your trailer out there. I figured
Yeah.
you might be coming down.
If you don't get towed first.
Yeah, but I'll get those through.
Let's see, I don't know what all Ryan went over, but no call outs this weekend. I really only got, one motion and a little bit of discussion.
And your motion is, based on recommendation, Road Bridge Supervisor to accept bid Cromartie Chevrolet for one 2025 Chevy Silverado 2500 HD WT with purchase price total of $50,290. This being best bid could be paid from general fund public works line item.
Is this just like a two-wheel drive?
No,
regular cab, or
it's
what?
a four-wheel drive crew cab, sorry, that's not on there.
Oh, no, that's fine.
Four-wheel drive
I was
crew
just
cab.
curious. I just, you know,
It's a replacement for an 06.
lots of them are a lot higher
Yeah.
than that, so the reason I'm
Yeah,
curious.
I'm assuming it's gas, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the cost shocked me.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I definitely not complaining. I just thought, well, is this something pretty plain, or, and I mean, I know.
I mean,
it's
it
not
is a work
fancy.
truck package.
Right, it's not fancy, but,
cloth
yeah.
and vinyl floors and
Yeah,
Work truck.
it's a work
Yeah.
truck, but, I mean, anymore, it almost costs you more to get a plain truck with crank windows and
I've been told that.
than it does to just then roll them through the line and build them like they usually do, other than
Right, right.
cloth
Okay.
seats and vinyl floors.
Yeah.
Well, I'll move.
I'll second that.
Moved by Knight, seconded by Thompson. Any discussion? Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
All right, thank you. So we had actually bid one half-ton crew cab pickup as well. And the original time I did here a month or so ago, we just reached out to Cromartie. This time I reached out to 3 dealers in Emporia, 2 dealers in Garnett, and then both dealers here in Burlington. And still we've only received 2 bids from Cromartie. So with that, Ryan and I had some discussion. Those 2 vehicles there, they don't quite meet specs, and the biggest problem right now is color. Chevy and Ford have gone away basically from the dark blue, and now everything's a bright blue. So upon some discussion with Ryan, we would like to pursue locally through Cromartie and have them find us a truck that meets our specs, that has the right color we're looking for, whether it's a 2023 new sitting somewhere or a 2024 sitting somewhere. Gather that information and then just bring you guys a single source type bid on pickup trucks, because we're having trouble getting bids on them and getting what we're actually needing.
One of these days you'll have to get away from that color blue that you're using, but.
Yes, one of these days. In fact,
They always make white. White will always be there.
White's awful dominant.
we've talked about white. White is fine.
And even when they're dirty, they still look nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blue
Cover the
looks-
dirt better than what some
Blue's
colors
dirt.
should.
So just some discussion on maybe us, checking with Cromartie Chevy and Cromartie Ford and seeing what they have laying around. We've also even talked about considering, decent used trucks. I just know the used market right now is as high, if not more, than what you're going to get out of a new pickup.
I don't understand that either, because there's so many repos coming in.
They're still giving almost more on trade-in on a year or two-year-old truck than what they paid for it out the door. They just, like when COVID started, they were getting any and every used pickup they could in and giving top dollar for them because they couldn't get any, and they couldn't get their new ones in.
Well, they know the one that's been out there running for a year or two's done proving itself, and the new one has not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take the new one.
So, just a different avenue that Ryan and I would like to take on the pickup side of things.
Okay.
If you guys are okay with that.
The trade-in, $1,200.
I got some other discussion coming up.
Okay.
That, so
I'll shut up.
that's my next topic.
Okay.
So yeah, with your guys' blessing, I think we would like to try that.
Give it a shot.
See what happens and
Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
stay local. I mean, it's local anyway because we can't get any other bids. So
Yeah.
I mean, we did make an effort to reach out to several other dealers and couldn't get anything. So we'll go that direction. Next, of course, we had our county auction this weekend. We've spent some time putting together a list of kind of bigger ticket items that we thought might do better with an online. And I know Tom's already left. I spoke with Tom. He's also got some vehicles and whatnot that he thought would do better online. I've reached out to, I know Ryan's talked to a gentleman with one online auction company. I've spoke with two others, and we advised them to come in and see you guys and let you guys know how their operation works. So that's, they'll come in here and give you their spiel, and we'll pick one out and do an online auction hopefully later on this fall or early winter. That truck you're talking about, Jesse, we did not trade it in. We're going to put it on that auction. It's the
T37.
T15.
Oh, T15.
Second from the bottom, I think.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I mean, I thought the vehicles at the auction sold very well.
Hindsight being 20/20, yes. I wish we'd have put our vehicles in there.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I was thinking.
They didn't need my help.
They brought a lot more than what I was anticipating.
I
A
agree
lot
with you.
more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, all the manpower that was there supplied by the county, and I don't know what, you know, Wade and I kind of visited about it a little bit, and that auction cost us a lot more than what it was proposed to be by the time you factor in the county road and bridge help.
I had
That was there?
5 hourly employees there
Mm-hmm.
for loaders, and they loaded a lot of stuff up. We stayed there till we left between 2 and 2:30 when I finally shut the gates, and we made the announcement at the auction we'd be there until 2 o'clock, and we loaded a lot of stuff, a lot of totes, a lot of pipes. Majority of that stuff that was in between the shops is gone. Yeah, it's one of those deals. I don't not want to have enough help.
Mm-hmm.
And in the years past, we've always had 3 or 4 people there to help. Of course, I was there. You can say getting paid or not getting paid, however you want to say it, but I put my time in there, and then I had 5 other. I was actually planning on leaving early. That's why I had the assistant road and bridge supervisor there, but I ended up staying, so he was going to take over for me.
Well, you know, I mean, we've got an auction place right up the road, a few miles, and I think it would be,
That stuff could have been hauled there.
could have been hauled there just as easy as hauled down there. You
Yeah.
know,
And they loaded it and dealt with it.
and you darn sure would have more bodies standing around and potentially bidding on it than was down there. There wasn't that many people down there.
No, I think 40 some numbers.
Yeah, there's
That's all
probably 80, 90
probably.
numbers up north.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, by the time you factor in all the help that the Road and Bridge has to do to prep it, you know, I don't know. I mean, and then I'm sure the sheriff was involved in some of it too, sheriff's group.
Sheriff's Department hauled a lot of stuff from up here down there.
Yeah, so I mean, by the time you which it's gotta be taken somewhere.
Yeah,
Somebody's
right.
gotta take it somewhere. It's not gonna not eliminate county employees
Yeah, there's still
involved.
gonna be time
Mhm.
spent getting ready,
Yeah.
just a possibility.
Yep, no, I'm all for it.
And I hate thinking what some of those vehicles may have went for up there at New Strong. They might have went,
I-
2 or 3,
I-
$4,000
Like I said,
more.
I was pleased with what they went for.
Yeah, they sold well.
so, I don't know. Something maybe to look at in the future, I don't know.
Okay. Can do.
Because you guys are still having to deal with it clear through Friday.
Yep. And
Yeah,
whatever's
so-
left, which will be bare minimum, we'll haul off a week from today.
Yeah, Billy or Susie comes in every 2 hours and gets something, or whoever, you
Yeah.
gotta deal with it. You know, so, more involvement.
Mhm.
I don't know. Good, bad, indifferent, I guess. I don't know if a person could contract with them up there to do it. I don't know. Might be a simpler way.
Okay. Well, I've
It went good.
I've spoke
Yeah,
with
had a good sale.
I've spoke with Brett actually on this online thing, and I mean, in the future, we can consider that route.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Idea.
glad it's over.
Yeah.
Yes, sir,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah, thanks to the guys that helped load stuff up.
Yeah, you did a good job.
You getting it around, staying around,
Yep, not a problem.
I think it went well.
You guys got anything else for me? All right. Well, thank you.
Don't have anything, Adam. Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
You too.
Mr. Johnson, you got anything for us today?
An issue with the water, hot water heater down in the jail. And they just ran out of hot water this weekend. I took care this morning and got that taken care of.
Good.
Waiting on the bond people, they said, what, 11 o'clock?
Thank you.
Do you want
Yeah.
to do that?
Thanks.
Thank you.
You got your tanks down there still.
Yeah, I'm coming.
If you want to supply it.
Oh, I guess we only had one application, and it was a reappointment for the Housing Authority. Do we want to go ahead and, reappoint? Stice, is that how you pronounce it? To the Housing Authority? How long's the application been up?
Yeah, I want to say about a month. Look. And I sent it to Kate for this publication.
Did you see that application work last week?
A couple, either last week or the week before. I'm looking.
How long had that been advertised in the paper? You remember that?
That's what we're looking
That's
for.
what we're looking.
Okay. I don't remember whether, it seemed to me like that's been a couple of months.
Are you looking too much?
I guess it really doesn't.
September 27th.
So it's not been like that.
Been not quite a
About 3
month.
weeks, well, I mean, that's 6 days away.
Yeah, 6 days away from a month. You wanna wait till next week?
Next week
Probably-
is
Probably wouldn't hurt.
28th.
Wouldn't hurt anything, but we probably won't have any other applications either, but you never know.
Yeah.
All five.
Next week will be the 28th, so.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
5 of us will be here next week, I mean.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, which, it's not necessary either, but.
I guess we'll wait until next week.
Okay.
Wade, do you have anything you wanna knock out prior to the 11 o'clock bond stuff? Or do we wanna just go to round table while we're here?
What I need to talk about will require executive sessions first.
Okay.
I'm not sure we have enough time to get down there and come back.
Right.
Unless you wanna have a quick one, do it in here.
Don't matter to me.
I think one of them, we can have 10 minutes, 8 minutes, whatever that clock says, I can probably fit it in. So I'd request, I don't know if you can get your timer set on it, but an 8-minute executive session. This is, under the attorney-client relationship, the legal update to the board regarding, pending litigation.
Okay. All of us?
Commissioners, myself, and stay in here.
Stay in the chambers? Okay.
Okay.
I'll move. That's fair. Moved by Knight, seconded by Meeks. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. We will enter into executive session at 11:50 or 10:52 for 8 minutes. That'll be the longest minute of her life. Here in the chamber.
We're not just yet. We still have
Not quite there.
No, now we are. We still have
31 seconds left.
31 seconds.
Get everybody their seat back.
Yep, get everybody in their seats.
You never know, Tony might have went to go see his mermaids.
He probably went mermaiding.
Well, what the interest rate was on the first 10 million?
She said 367 or something.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
She said, Angie told me 367.
On the first 10?
The one that got the bid?
No, the first loan, or the first
Oh, I
bond.
don't know.
It was pretty low.
Well, this here's a 4, so.
Well, see, this is taxable, and the other one was non-taxable, right?
I don't know what the hell I split that up.
Looks like some of it's, there's 5s and 4s, but probably need to wait till we get the explanation.
Greg will explain it to us. Or Richard wants to, Tim, whoever.
So you're back after executive session, just to,
Oh, yes,
not,
yes, we steered away.
well, it looks like we're talking about something different and you come back from executive session, but wasn't the case, you just,
No action taken on last executive session, fair to say?
yeah, wait, you know, no action, but just, there's a condemnation case that was filed in the district court by the State Department of Transportation. The county is one of the parties who's required to get notice. That case number 2024 CD26 for those who are interested. In essence, it appears that the Department of Transportation has filed an action to basically take some property by eminent domain. The purpose of the executive session was to advise the commissioners of the filing, which just occurred last week, and to explain generically rights and responsibilities of the county. And my concern is that any of the existing commissioners received any communication about it, sort of what it's about and what their responsibility is. Ultimately, I think similar to the Kansas Corporation Commission levy, NextEra transmission line was approved by the KCC. The county only has so much ability to intervene, and this is, although not exactly the same, I think the state, the condemnation proceeding has similar responsibilities. That's the high-level summary, just so everybody knows what happened and why.
Clear. While we're waiting, I only have one topic for roundtable. I know we're not in roundtable, but the discussion would be the North Property Swimming Pool contract with, the Emporia Company. I can't say the name, Pools First, I can't remember the name, but anyway. They come to the property to clean, do their bi-weekly checkup. Visited with the Robert guy and said that they had them scheduled for the 20th to close the pool. And the individual was told that they would notify them when they was ready to close the pool. And so I got wind of it, the contracts between the county and the pool company. I said, it's our dime right at the moment, so we'll do what we need to do. And so, anyway, I talked to Bart. Bart said, I told Bart, I said, if you're willing to accept the contract with the pool people, then you can tell them when you need to close it or when you want to close it. I said, we'll wash our hands of it and let you handle it. And Bart told me that they was wanting to take the contract over and would pay us for what we had paid for the pool contract from the time that it was the contract for the lease till it gets changed over to their name. So I called back to the pool people and told them that we would be discussing it today, and I would let them know today if we're going to turn it over to Bart at the North property. I guess the individual, the Richard or Robert or whatever his name was, is a pool person, swimmer, so on and so forth, and knows how to take care of a swimming pool. And so I would say it's probably going to be, the contract probably be null and void after the period is up, after the contract expires, if it rolls over to SSM or Bartlett. So I don't know how you want to deal with that, or how we want to deal with that.
Well, I guess my only concern would be, and not to question them, but just so it's taken care of.
Right.
That, if we turn the responsibility of the maintenance to someone else, then who's going to be responsible if it gets out of condition?
Right.
It's not saying that's a valid concern, but that's just my first concern that comes to mind.
I wasn't very nice when I said, this is our contract, not yours. It's the kind of the county's terms of when we want to close the pool down, regardless. So
Right.
At this time it is.
but they will close it down whenever the individual wants them to close it down. But if they want to go that way, then they need to pay for the biannual cleaning, the biannual chemical and everything, in my eyes. And not tell us what to do with our pool. That's where I'm at.
How long's our contract?
I think it was a year, wasn't
The
it?
people that moved into it.
Yes, a year.
SSN, Bart,
Yeah.
I think it was a year, wasn't it, Wade?
Yep.
If they're gonna take over a contract, it ought to have the same ending date, which may or may not be necessary, but.
Right. Year or longer, or shorter, whichever needed. It was kind of an open contract, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly.
I'd have to look at it, and then I think there's a provision in the agreement with SSM regarding pool maintenance and upkeep. I can't remember, I'd have to pull it, because we originally included that, and then it may have been removed because of the contract. I don't remember. In any event, my recommendation is to not let somebody assume a contract that is with the county, that there be a clean break, and if that's what everybody mutually agrees to, then that's what occurs.
Right.
And that there be consideration or discussion about an addendum to the original lease agreement where the pool maintenance contract is either being assumed and they have all the responsibility for the pool and the agreement, and or there's a clean break, and then from that point forward, whenever that is, the addendum spells out that they're responsible, whatever that looks like, for maintaining the pool, similar to utilities and landscaping, mowing, all those things which are in the original.
Well, like I said, I wasn't gonna make the decision, which I can't, but I wanted to bring it up and let people think about it, because I told them just to hold off on closing it for now. And, I guess this guy's a swimmer, is my thing.
I mean, the benefit is somebody's there.
Right.
And originally, when that pool maintenance agreement was put in place, it was put in place to ensure that there was no damage to the system by keeping it open and having a professional come in and blow out the lines and winterize it is to the benefit of everybody. So
I mean, it is a heated pool. It is designed to stay open year-round.
True.
It can stay open year-round.
True.
But with nobody there, it's not wise to have it open year-round.
Right.
So,
Show up, it's got 2 inches of ice on it.
yeah, like it had almost 3 foot of snow across the tarp one day when I went by there. Yeah, that's fun.
So even though it's a heated pool, still needs to cover off for the winter?
Oh, yeah, that's what holds the heat in it. And I think the circulation circulates just 24/7 during that time to keep the heat up. So, but
I wouldn't want to pay that utility bill.
no, that's because it takes a lot of gas to keep that. And we did put a new heater in. It does have a new heater, so that's what was leaking last year. So that's it. But so anyway, I guess we'll hold the contract. If they want to start paying for it, they can tell them when they want to close it down. I guess that's as simple as it sounds like to me.
With your permission, maybe I'll send an email to Art Massey and the attorney that they have that I've corresponded with and say, here's my understanding. What do we need to do to get this moving in the right direction?
Right.
Okay. Is that what you want me to do?
Works for me.
That sounds fine.
Just puts more on your plate. You got sideboards on it already.
I eat off a big plate anyway.
Angie, do you have any round table?
The only thing I had really was, to think ahead, because we're already here the 21st of October, and looking at the calendar for Thanksgiving dinner. And then my question is we were alternating every year between Brad and Hogman, and this year Hogman would be up, because Brad did it last year. So my question is do you want us to continue that route, or?
Sounds fine to me.
Okay. And so as we look at the calendar for November, because it's coming right up, Thanksgiving is when is Thanksgiving?
28th.
Is it 28th? Okay. So we usually do it the week before the Thanksgiving holiday. So that would be the 21st or 22nd.
It makes no difference to me.
I would say the 21st, but
Okay,
I think you'd have more of attendance. People might be taking Friday off and all that next week off too, possibly.
so 22nd?
21st.
I mean, 21st, I meant 21st, okay. 21st. All right. I'll see if he's available to do that, and
And then I understand there's a department head meeting tomorrow.
I don't know.
Probably the next question, what are we gonna have for Thanksgiving meal? It was a big issue last year because there wasn't any
Oh, well,
bird.
so I
I
need to
don't know
know.
what Hogman or what he does
What he
for
does,
like
yeah.
a Thanksgiving meal.
I'll have to check with them, I guess, and let you know.
Okay. I'll just schedule the 21st and see what his options are as far as meats and go from there.
Okay. And I think that's all I have to say.
I better get that put into my calendar, I'll forget it.
Are you done?
Question for you.
Okay.
Since we only have 7 people,
Yeah, we can.
that's what I thought. That's why.
Could you sign all of those, just because there's only 2?
Oh, I didn't even think about
That's
that.
okay.
That's why I told them.
Yep, I didn't even think about that.
More papers for that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Had 31 voters this morning already.
31 voters already. Wow.
Let's see what.
Oh, do you want a copy of all that? I'll make my own copy.
Which are not supposed to be in there at 11. Well, they said they'd be 11-ish, so I guess we're hanging out, patiently waiting. You got any round table, Dawn?
No,
Wade?
I've got a check here from, that I got from KT Cattle Company for the rent for the grass up north, so.
Oh, the pasture, yeah. for-
Put it where we normally put it.
How much is it for, just to,
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't even, I have no idea.
this is tied to the pasture lease agreement?
yes, it's $5,550, I'm sorry, I should
Oh,
have
you're fine.
announced that, so.
I don't remember where we put it last year, Angie.
I need to look, I can't remember.
Isn't that part of that CID up there?
No.
It's not part of the CID?
It's the land.
Right, but I thought we incorporated that into the CID. That
I don't
wasn't in
believe
the
it's part of the
CID?
CID.
Okay.
But bringing up the lease agreement, I think the last 2 years, that's who's gone with it, because prior to the county owning that property, the Baileys had those individuals but I think if it continues on, there's been discussion about potentially sending it out for
Right.
bid, just to.
Yeah, I think that's what we discussed last year, is we probably would bid it, but I mean, they were very cooperative. Sure. The county and, you know, being flexible about stepping out of their agreement that first year and everything, and that was the consideration, in my part anyhow, for this year.
I think the issue, or the reason why it happened that way is the hope and anticipation was that something would be being built and going vertical on that property, and through a series of just waiting, I guess. That's
Right.
not where we are right now, so just to plant the seeds for whatever you want to do in the future. I don't know when those agreements have to be finalized to make it value for whoever it is that's going to do whatever with that property, but I know that's what was mentioned at one point in time.
Yeah, I mean, we'd have some time yet. I mean, we've got a written contract, so that's gonna be, you know, it's not gonna require notice or anything, I wouldn't think, for this contract, you know.
So does the county own other property that is being rented, leased by somebody,
Not in that capacity.
north side of the airport?
Yeah, I think they bid it, haven't they?
Do they bid that?
I think so.
I've not put anything together, so if there is, I'm not aware of.
I mean, that wouldn't be would that be the airport board doing that, or would that be us, the county commissioners doing that?
I don't know anything about it, so.
I thought the commissioners took bids on it, but that's before I got on here.
I haven't done anything, I haven't had anything come across my desk, across here since I've been
And maybe the airport board deals with that.
They do.
You know?
Yeah.
They do?
Okay.
Yeah, they actually have it advertised right now for bidding,
I see.
so. And so we put it to Community Improvement Reserve Fund. Wait, no, hold on, that's the rent. Hold on, that's the house rent.
I just knew that it had been bid, I didn't know if you did it.
Yeah, and like I said, as long as we're doing it the same, as long as it's the same for every property that the
Right.
county has.
Right,
Yeah, I didn't even know about the airport property.
yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I had someone call and ask about bidding on that, so that's how I know.
Uh-huh.
Have they poured the concrete slab yet for SSN?
I don't think so. I think it's this week.
Last Sunday it wasn't.
I think it's this week. They're doing the fittings. I think fittings were being put in last week. I think that's what it was. So, and then I think the concrete was this week.
So we'd probably have to get us some mapping, if we were gonna bid it, we need to get some mapping done and decide exactly the acreage we were gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
Because we did an acreage here and then these people paid us additional for some extra that they were able to mow that we didn't want tied up in the agreement, is my recollection. And, because we didn't know whether it was gonna be available or not, so.
That last check was put in community improvement reserve,
Okay.
and it was 5,500 as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same as this one.
Yeah, and that was more than what, we were contracted for, if I recall
Right.
correctly.
Yeah, the contract.
Got it. $30 an acre
Yeah.
for 140 acres.
Mhm.
Don? Do what?
If you got it, I can do it.
That's only $4,200.
Right, right.
So,
And that's what they did last year too.
once
They
again,
paid-
they're paying more
they paid
money
way
than was
above and beyond
contracted.
what we were contracted for. And,
$1,700 more than what was contracted.
right,
So,
right.
if you put it out for bid, that's all you're gonna get.
Yeah, we need to get a specified acreage and then everybody can bid according to that. But yeah, we've got some time on that yet, that's, nobody's
Yep.
sweating that, so.
Well, since the proceeds came in, I thought it'd be a good time just to.
Yes, yes.
To bring it up and, I think it's also good to hear that it's $30 an acre, but more was submitted to the county based on the acreage.
Yeah,
Yeah, all they was obligated to pay was,
yeah.
what, $4,200, what I said? Yeah,
Yeah.
$4,200, they paid her $55.50, so.
It was 140, right? Yeah, that makes it $39.28.5.
Yeah.
It's what they paid on what the contracted
They're probably,
acres were.
they're probably mowing more than 148.
That's correct, but that's what they could have paid us to do.
All I can say to the haters is stay bothered.
Well,
They
they were honest with us, so.
They were more fair about it.
Right, that's my point.
I just got an update from Richard. He said they're waiting on the good faith deposit and the new bid form to accept since some numbers have changed for our benefit.
Okay, sweet.
There, we can wait
Hey,
a little
wait.
longer. Yep.
As long as there's money being.
So I've got two things I should probably, well, one thing I can bring up now, the second will have to go into executive session. The first one is the foreclosure process where the county is involved in the Maribel's. The sheriff's sale is scheduled for November 21st at 10 a.m. So.
That's the same day as.
Same day as Thanksgiving dinner.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
So just so you're aware that's been scheduled and it will be in the paper. It has to be published 3 consecutive weeks, and I think the first week is this week, with my understanding. So just so you know, that's moving full speed ahead.
That'll be in the basement then? Or will that be?
Should be in the lobby.
Yeah, in the lobby.
Okay.
That's the only property on it, isn't it, right?
The sheriff says?
Yeah.
Yeah, for this particular sale,
Okay.
and that's typical of how mortgage foreclosure
Okay.
sales go.
Okay.
In dealing with that particular, those properties, there's an issue that will have to be addressed at some point soon, and I'm not sure right now, and today is the time, but the roof needs some work, and although I don't have them in hand, I've seen pictures, and decisions will have to be made, one way or another. There's the Band-Aid decision, and then there's the decision that probably addresses the roof completely. And there's to do nothing probably is not an option, in my opinion.
Right.
So just know that's coming and soon. Main update was the sheriff's sale. To go into more detail, once I have more information, will likely require an executive session to give you what your legal options are regarding the roof, and ultimately it may require sending out an RFP for bids to address the roof.
I don't know that we have 30 days to deal with an RFP.
But that, once I have more information, I can bring it to you. I just don't have the substantive information other than pictures I've seen to show you, but you may be right.
You know, the two spots that need to be, how well, or how good a shape is the balance of the roof? Is it good enough shape to last 10 years or longer?
I will say.
Hard to tell.
Well, It's not hard to tell. I'll say the two spots are that you can see from the inside, are not a good representation of what's on the outside. And it's a concern.
Not great, but
No. So I don't want to say too much right now until I have
right.
have the information that I need, but I want you need to be aware of it, that it's a situation that if there's rain or if there's snow or something like that, the design of that roof is not like your regular A-frame house where it'll just roll off into a gutter. There's a flat roof, and it's exposed significantly to the elements. So having the appropriate roofing materials on that roof, and not just a patch or a Band-Aid, is kind of where we are.
Well, I don't know, coming into the winter months, I don't know how they can get them roofs, I don't know how they stick down, I don't know if it's hot tar, or if it's some type of a adhesive, or if they can spray any type of sealer at a certain temperature.
Those are all good questions, and I don't want to go outside my subject matter area because I have no idea about roofs. Every now and then I can climb on my roof and patch a shingle, but that's as far as my knowledge goes. I just know this roof has issues that need to be addressed, and sooner rather than later. So.
I don't know if we'll have time to do it. I don't know. You do 30 days on an RFP, and then you got award, and it's 30 days. You're looking at 2 months. You're looking at 2 months from the time the RFP comes out.
So the issue is, there's a sheriff's sale in the county. The county's sort of in this in-between world where the county has a significant interest in this property, but the county doesn't own it, and the county has the right to protect its interest, but where that goes, I completely agree with what you're saying. So I hope to have a better answer for you next week.
Okay.
Then the last thing I have, and I know you're waiting, is when the time comes, is a 10-minute executive session. If you want, you can stay here. Non-elected personnel, talks about job performance and sort of job performance, medical update.
It's about individuals.
And
individuals, probably better go down below. Don't you think?
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
That's your motion? To include yourself in the board?
Correct.
Executive session, board, Wade Bowie discussed non-elected personnel, you said
Job
job
performance
performance
/ medical update.
medical update for 10 minutes, right? You said? Thompson moved?
I'll say.
Meat second, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes, we'll enter at 11:34 for 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're back.
And then the all kinds here. I don't know what all you need, but I'm still intrigued.
Better to have it, not need it, than need it, not have it.
I just hope they tell us which stack we need to look at.
Yeah. Okay, we're back from the last executive session. First,
No action?
no action. Sitting here patiently waiting for the bond proceeding for the jail,
Law enforcement center.
law enforcement center. Well, you need to change it on River City then, because it says jail construction.
Law enforcement center. It's got more than just a jail.
Okay,
It is.
I'll let you trickle that up the ladder.
Multi-purpose facility.
Yeah.
Motel 6.
We'll keep the light on for you. Oh, man.
You got enough done on the inside, Tom, where a person could take a tour of it and get a good idea how things are going?
Oh,
And
yeah,
what,
well, it's well beyond that. All downstairs, you know, all of the steel studs, all the studs are up. You can see every office, all but 2 walls of the diagonal, the pods, the cells.
Well, I need to see.
Are done, but you can't put those diagonal walls in until they get the cells brought in. You know, they have to have those, they can't put those walls up till afterwards. But other than that, the control room, you can see the control room, all the window spacings. It is, yeah, if you have not been over there in 2 weeks, it changes every 2 weeks, you need to go over there.
Here to wait,
That's resolution.
Sorry, Tom.
We've already
That's
got
the red
one
line.
resolution, it's
We're
different.
gonna have you look.
You're gonna get all kinds of resolutions.
It might be a change one.
This one has the markup of the changes on it.
Oh, okay.
And then there's another one that shows the final changes,
Yeah, like I said.
or as changes. So is that hard to do?
No, that's,
those titles.
good share to bring them up.
Yeah, we got it.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You bet. Yeah, Don, it's there, it's unbelievable. You go up over there, you can see everything.
I'll holler at you this week or next week and have somebody, I guess Cole could get me in there and walk around.
So tomorrow's department head meeting, tomorrow's department head meeting at 2 o'clock, and I've got a meeting, I'm gonna bring all the department heads that wanna go over there tomorrow.
I gotta be in Wichita.
Okay. Yeah, if you just go over and let Cole or Ryan know, they'll be more happy to take you through, Don. And I've told all the public, every time I talk to anybody, we'll mention it again here today. Anytime the public wants to show up, to walk through, it's their building, they're paying for it. If they walk through and give them a little bit of notice, they'll give them a hard hat and orange vest, and they'll take them through just like anybody else. So all they have to do is come talk to me if they want, and I'll walk them through.
Very good.
Be good for the school to walk these young kids through.
Yeah, I'd like to have it done just a little bit farther along than what it is now.
I think that's right.
You know, where they can see all the windows and the separation and how I really want the celly port to be done.
Pretty well
You
get
know, where they
everything.
can see that it's secure and how they get into that jail. I'd like to see the doors on. When you see, you know, those security steel doors,
Right.
it just makes it seem that much more like Fort Knox, you know.
Basically it needs to be finished and get all these school kids.
We will have open house multiple days before we put an inmate in here. And we're gonna, you know, have open house, we'll have cookies, cake, whatever. And we're gonna walk people through this and give them tours of this place. So, yeah, I would like everybody to come see this. It is truly a heck of a feat to have all this done in this parking lot.
Sheriff, isn't it customary before an inmate spends the night in the jail that the sheriff and the governing body spends the night?
That was governing body. Yeah, the governing body always spends the night in.
I read something about the sheriff.
Lock him up and see what it feels like.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yep.
I get to leave my phone outside, it might be the most peaceful night I
Yeah, there you go.
have.
Yeah, they,
Are you fully, when it becomes operable, are you fully staffed on sheriffs and?
no, I'm still looking for jail staff.
Because your sheriff's staff would be, it's in good position when it opens up. But you're still looking for jail.
Oh, the sheriff's officers, you talking about deputies?
Yeah.
We're full there. Deputies,
When it
we've
opens
been
up,
full.
you're fully staffed.
We're fully staffed on the deputy side. We've been fully staffed. So, yeah, we're still looking for 3 jail staff, I believe.
Three jailers.
3 jail staff.
Okay.
And we've got quite a few applications in that we're going through, so,
I'd say, well, that's good.
yeah.
So once you're fully staffed here, you're good for over there? Or you're having to hire 3 extra for the new jail?
No, there'll be 3
For
extra.
new law enforcement center?
That's correct, yeah. We need 16, remember, since day one, we said we needed 16 to run.
Right.
You need 4 4-man shifts to run. And, we're right now sitting at 11, 12, maybe 13. So I still need 3 or 4 more, jail staff to come out. But we'll, like I said, we haven't had a problem. We've luckily, picked up, I know you saw the last one that came through here. I was gone sick when, our paperwork came up, but we got lucky and got somebody that had 4 or 5 years experience in another jail. We came over and as we've hired. So those people, man, we love when somebody's got that 4 or 5 years experience.
Sure.
And this was even a supervisor, we got hired over here. So, yeah, I think we'll be fine. We still got 4 or 5 months to go. I'm hoping that, I keep giving Ryan a hard time, so I plan on being over there in March. You know, it's not supposed to be till June, but, I said, I'm gonna be over ready to go in March or April, so you better get this baby done. So I'm hoping to have everybody March, mid-March. They've already got training scheduled, for all of these software systems in the jail. That's already set. So most of those systems over there by that time will be in, so they can truly start using those to go through those security systems. So again, it's run by leaps and bounds. I'm hoping that it doesn't rain and snow for another 60 days. We need it. I'm not arguing we don't need the rain, but they get this roof tied in and get it completely done, then they can have them on soon. I don't care.
It won't be 60 days before they have the roof done, will it?
Well, they'll have the roofing done this week.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, the roof should be done this week.
So by the time they get the cells brought in, and a little more concrete poured, and the bricking, if we get the brick done, there's gonna be the ethos on the very front and on the side that you're gonna see done all but the bottom 4 foot. They're not gonna finish that until spring, because every person that drives by and walks by is gonna hit it, scrape off that ethos, damage that little styrofoam, and they know that. So some of this stuff is not gonna be done until spring, as far as the finish goes. But, I mean, it's every 2 weeks. I was saying to begin with, I didn't go in about every 6 weeks. And then Ryan said, Tom, you gotta come in. And I said, it's been 10 days. He said, you gotta come in. I go in there, you can't imagine what they're doing every 2 weeks. So, yeah, there'll be another tour tomorrow, so.
I toured last week, it was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Super cool.
No, you're welcome. As soon as I get the keys turned over to me, you're welcome to come spend the night.
Pass.
Open invitation.
Are they not putting large equipment on the roof here this week?
No, that got moved. So that's gonna happen the week after the cells go in, I believe, the end of November. They were talking about starting to put HVAC units up on the roof. the 25th of this month, I believe, starting around the 25th. But there was a holdup, and they needed to get some more of the roof done. They wanted it done because the biggest unit they have sits directly over the kitchen to do the cooler and the two freezers, or the freezer and the two coolers. And to do that, they had to have this crane in here, and we were going to have to block off the street there between the new build and the school. And so we worked it out with Craig Marshall, met with Craig or whatever, we're going to do it during Thanksgiving when the school's out. So during that time the school's out, they'll have it in here and get that done in about 24 hours. Because this is a big crane that they'll set it halfway, in just south of the show, about halfway down towards the school, because it's got to be able to boom out and reach all the way back to that southeast corner right above the kitchen. Because the biggest unit they're going to place is that big unit right there. So I'm telling you, I don't know how Ryan and Cole do it, but Ryan knows exactly what day something's going to be here, knows what they got to have to get it placed, or what's got to be worked. How them guys keep that in their head, Right? He doesn't have to walk around with stuff like Cole gives you. I can say, what's going on next week? Next week is A, B, C, and he rattles that stuff off, and he knows what's supposed to be here the day before, so it's going to be put up, or, they're going on gangbusters. And I saw this morning, I was sick all last week. I was here Friday afternoon, but I see today they've got a door put on the west side of the building, a true steel door. So they're starting to put up some doors. So yeah, it's coming along. I'll be happy when they get the windows through. Gotta make a huge difference.
When we worked on that first $10,000, I was in Topeka, tied up. Did it take this long to get everything buttoned up? I didn't figure.
I don't remember.
I didn't figure it took this long a time to get everything settled up.
I can't, it's been too daggum long ago. Can't remember.
I know I missed that first long deal.
I believe it did because you don't know what numbers you need to plug into what until you have the actual bid, and then you have to take those numbers. You have to wait for the escrow deposit to be made and confirm that it's been made, because that's what sort of gets the wheels moving. Then you have to take the numbers, apply them into a formula, then put those numbers into the resolution so that it's all done the right way. So I don't think the time that's being...
So we didn't have money, and just
They got different percentages here on different, that would require different interest to be paid. Got 3 or 4 different interest rates, so without us making a decision, I'm not sure how they could finish everything up. But I've never dealt with a bond before.
So Tyler this year, I don't know if you saw that, he's the one who was standing there. Richard Tyler works with Joe Serrano.
I was wondering if Joe was involved in this.
Joe's been involved, but I think Tyler's here. I don't know if he can explain why he's here, but he can probably answer your questions and tell you what's what.
Figure those pages all out, Jesse.
Well, I'm just seeing if I can see where any differences were. I'm on page 7, and so far I haven't found a bit of difference,
Haven't found difference yet, huh?
which I'm just scanning it.
Well, they're identical resolutions, so technically there's probably not a change in that same resolution number.
Above my pay grade. Right.
There may be some small wording that's a little bit different that'll take a while to find.
You don't think there's something?
I bet there's something in here that's got a wording difference.
Well, if anything changes in a paragraph, it ought to be different ending on one page to another.
Yeah.
So, I haven't, page 12, and I haven't found any.
Yeah, you would think it
It
would
would change the structure of the paragraph,
Right.
the ending point.
I bet it's just a small 3 or 4 word deal.
I think a lot of the changes are in the exhibits.
Pardon?
It's like a lot of the changes are in the exhibits
Okay.
at the end of it.
It's supposed to be highlighted. Yeah. That's what my email says.
Oh. Well, then I'll stop, going through each and every page of that, trying to see where the changes are.
Got some stricken here.
Yeah, I don't see any changes in the actual agreement. Or resolution, I should say.
Well, you know, if there were different numbers on the backside, there'd be different numbers in the resolution, you would think, but I found no different numbers. Oh.
And I saw the wire instructions as proof of payment, but no funds yet. He's checking with the bank and checking with the Johnson City.
Show me the money. God, they killed all, they redid that whole thing to change 2 pages. 3 pages.
I got 3 or 4 pages on the tail end that's
Yeah.
got some changes.
Change that footnote at the bottom of the page on every page.
Crazy verse on this page. It's just 4 missed calls. Oh, it's gonna be a good afternoon.
Huh?
4 missed calls and 1 email, or 1 voicemail. It's gonna be a good afternoon. I'll get up and move around, I guess.
Could even take a 10-minute break for a while. Don't make any difference to me.
I'm good with that. Take a 10-minute break. Come back at 12:20.
All these people tell me our meeting restarts are boring. I get the switch on so everybody can enjoy it.
We're back from our 10-minute break. Still waiting on bond proceedings. Watch me cut myself with a letter opener.
Not time for much else, so.
You got 2 machines in there, one in your room and one in, or you
We
got
have
both
one
of them?
in, well, on that closer to, Terry's office, she's out today, so, and then we'll move them back in here for the
Oh,
week.
right.
Oh, they're in here.
That's why your chairs were
Scrambled.
scrambled around.
The
Maybe you can figure out which one's yours before you leave.
Cleanest ever sold it.
Yeah.
I'll just wait and search after the election, then they can try to
Or I
find
could
it
put your
out.
name on it.
No, it doesn't matter, it's no big deal.
So Saturday night, strange things in the sky. In the western horizon from my house, there was 2 lights. Probably looked, I mean, it was over Lyon County, I would assume, maybe not. They was stationary and turn on and then turn off. One was a brighter light, and then one looked like further away was a dimmer light. Sunday night, they was to the south. But they would turn, they would be on, then they'd go off, both of them.
Any particular time?
No, I don't know, it's probably 9 o'clock, 9-ish.
They last very long?
They stayed there, I mean,
All
they,
night?
well, every time I was out there, they was out there. Strange things. UFOs or something, maybe, I don't know.
We're probably being watched for them, what we know.
You know, one of my friends took a picture of a drone flying over Lebo one day.
Oh, yeah.
One of them big old white drones. One of the airplane drone looking things.
I see.
Pretty neat.
I got a nephew, he's there at co-op, he used his drone to fly over 400 acres here 10 days ago. Sprayed everything for brush and weeds.
Mm-hmm.
Sprayed 5 acres per load.
Yep.
But he said it did not take long to do it.
Download the stupid picture so we can look at it.
Yeah, that's what those guys that do that professionally, it's really a big deal how batteries they can change and how quick they can refill, you know. Guy over in Missouri. And that's this
That's just one flying over during daylight over Lebo.
drone that he said flew over.
Think that was a drone or?
Oh yeah, this one is one of those, I don't know if it's a military drone or what, but. See that, Mark? Well,
How far out was that?
it was quite a ways. I'm sure his phone was zoomed in,
Yeah.
and that's the actual picture, so.
Huh.
That's not your normal go buy it,
Yeah.
some store drone.
It's nice to get a picture of the moon here about 4 nights ago.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how big that thing showed up.
It was huge.
It was huge and,
Yeah,
and kind of a good looking color. It was,
yeah.
it looked good.
Yeah, I can't remember where we were coming back from. CC commented on it.
Coming up over the tree banks and everything.
Yeah,
It,
yeah.
showed a good picture looking through the tree limbs. A lot of leaves are going down.
Johnson, you're late for lunch today. I think Tom needs to go hurry him up a little bit. That Highway 50, they should be done with that mid-November. Well, they should be done with the paving this week. They should have it all paved, and then they got shoulder rock to put on. Shoulder rock, but that don't take too long. No. Then you got, he said there's gonna be some guardrails that's gonna need to be put up. I heard him say the guardrails. Some seating.
I see.
I bet by mid-November, if they have good. Good weather, should be done.
That'd be good.
I hope it stands up good. Sheriff's office will have to be up there slowing people down on the two-lane interstate.
Possible.
Okay. So here's your update. The only thing that you're waiting on right now is New York to transfer the initial funds to the county's bank, and that's part of the process. So that should happen anytime. Everything else, once that occurs, it's ready to go. Tyler will be able to answer your questions about percentages and rates and those type of things, so.
Well, they got 5 different rates here. All of them's got a different interest.
He'll be able to answer that. So I just kind of do what you're doing, and it's kind of like waiting to get on your next flight. You're waiting for the airline to start announcing it's
time to board.
We'll be boarding soon. Collect your belongings and get in a single file row based on wherever your seat is.
You said New York was transferring the funds to the local bank? One of the banks here in town, so.
Yep.
Where's it going from there?
I think it stays there.
Stays there and goes to River City.
Yep. And that's where the money comes from when the county signs a check based on an application for payment.
What type of interest are we drawing then?
That's a question for them. I'm not. Look, we've got a meeting this afternoon at 1.
You can enter down there. Sure, 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. Okay.
So we have to pay $205,000 as good faith up front? Well, it just says good faith deposit, $205,100.
That's what we're waiting for.
Okay, that's what, okay,
That's the good faith money they're sending us.
okay.
That's the original, originally you'll be signing after you approve the resolution.
You've got way too many papers here.
I know. I don't think I printed that off for you, but you just sent it and said, this is the one, so. Oh, wait, no, I didn't. That's a blank one. Okay, yeah. Too many, I'm getting confused.
This is the one page, I don't have three of them.
Well, because they're different.
This
This was the bids, okay.
This is, what
Okay.
Andrew put out, the
New York.
same one we already had.
New York.
Except that one's signed.
Yeah.
Okay. This is going bye-bye. Milwaukee was 5%. Oklahoma was 5%. New York was 4%. New York City. Oh, Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland, Ohio.
I don't know why there's two banks. Oh, darn. I would have printed it too.
So there's four bids.
Yeah. I'm gonna just click on this, look at our original. Okay, so what's bathroom? It's around the way, okay, fine.
You know, there at one time, I think we should be able to still expect that paid off in halftime. That $4.5 million, hopefully it'll go down to 2.5 or 3.
Well, that's what we was talking about at the beginning, paying that offer, but I think he's gotta have it 10 years, I think.
There's a minimum date on it. That's
No,
something.
maybe it's 8 years, and then there'll be a minimum date on this one too.
And for voting machines, Angie's staying pretty busy.
They are. It's nonstop.
You said 31 there a while ago, it's probably 50 already.
I'm betting.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see where we're
Yeah,
at.
I bet you're over 50. The amount of people I've seen
Yeah.
walk through
a lot of
Yeah.
traffic.
Yeah.
I bet most of this early voting, I bet the highest percentage of that's definitely out of Burlington.
I don't know.
Yeah, just about 50.
50.
Just now 50?
We may hit 100 today. It keeps going like.
Good deal. That's great.
Well, people need to get out and vote. This election is very important. We shouldn't have our computers anymore, should we? We've got-
Well, the resolution's on there,
Oh, it is?
if you want it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You might want that. Maybe, or you could read it off the deal.
No, I'll read it off there. I just didn't see it on there. Hey, Wade. You still here?
Just me. You're right, go check the mail.
Nothing but bills, probably.
Most everything junk mail now. I kept a lot we get. We get, here the last 6-8 weeks, quite a few land bills.
Oh, yeah.
Years later, you
There's quite a bit of land that, got one estate down, it's got 800 acres coming up. Another right there, East Leroy is 273 acre, or 270 something. In fact, it's that land on that picture, right below that
Oh,
big
yeah.
creek bridge.
Yeah.
That half section's coming up there.
Is that through like Whitetail Properties or?
Sorry?
Who's that through, Midwest Land Group or who's that auction with?
I can't even tell you. I know it's not,
It's not Von Rock?
yeah, he tell you. Yeah, he didn't get that one. He does have this southern state. Interesting. And that lays directly west of me.
There you go, Don. Better get it bought.
No, I can't handle, I'm not gonna handle anything like that.
So, is that is that where the signs are over there south of my shop?
That's where they're all pointed to.
That's it.
Cause it'll be 3 miles south, county line, and then back east a half or 3/4, that's where that 160 grass is.
I see.
Then you go another mile or a half mile east, and that's where those 160, 320, and 160, all the way there in the road. There's 2 miles there, that one stretch. And I'm on the west side of that north.
Oh,
East
okay.
side of that, dang it, east side of that north.
Okay, it borders you.
Borders that
I see.
200 I have.
Uh-huh.
I'd love to have it. So, but I ain't got that kind of fun in them. That's
Yes,
gonna
sir.
be a lot, there could be a lot of deer hunters involved in that. Deer, we got quite a bit of activity out there. And that upland is I don't know how much that Sun's done a good job with fertilizer and liming. In fact, they put gypsum on an awful lot of that 3 or 4 years ago.
I see.
that upland's in good
It's
shape.
up in pretty good shape.
There's probably, on every quarter, there's probably at least 60 acres of timber. There's a lot of timber involved in it. That farm ground's in good shape. I mean, what the date of that sale is, it's in November, I'm sure. There was another 85 miles east, 2 south, back east a little bit. That 80 is mostly a lot of timber on it, probably had. But it was 25, it sold here 2 weeks ago, it's 2,500.
How many acres was it?
80.
Well, that seems pretty cheap.
It was a lot of timber on it. I don't even know how much farmland. I didn't pay much attention to it. I don't even know how much farmland there was involved in it. I don't think it was half farmland, but fertility program wasn't very good on it.
I know the land auction prices have dropped.
They were gonna drop, these low break prices are gonna come right down. How much, it's hard to tell.
In order to cut it back, so.
Mm-hmm. Then maybe the state will call down here and lower the value
tell
of
us to
property.
lower it.
Yeah, tell us to
Yeah.
lower it.
That
Worst
way
of
the
it is,
land-
I don't think they ever got up high enough to, where they can come lower. Well, that piece east of Leroy, and you got the Mid-America comes off of that, the co-op about 25 or 30 acres, it comes off of it. The highway takes off some of it, cause it's advertised as 270 acres.
Is there oil gas on that?
Yeah, and the 1/8 share, I haven't read the sale bill, but 1/8 share was $18,000 in 2023. There is quite a few jacks on it, but at 1/8 at 18, I don't know how productive. I never have figured that out. You know, if it's making $60 a barrel, then the 1/8 share is 3.
Yeah.
The 300 barrels, I think. And it's that 270, there's probably, there's 50 or 60 acres on it that's timber. Cause Big Creek, or Crook Creek runs all the way down to the river. I don't know whether there's any walnut in it or not.
Is there anybody over there that does any tree harvesting?
No, I don't, I know an individual that
We finally have
his
money.
60 out, got a lot of walnut on, but I don't know who's doing it.
Hey,
Thank you.
Richard back.
Yeah, hey, finally,
Thank you.
money finally showed up. Apparently it took some name out from New York.
Me?
New York.
Takes too long to get long distance.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we talking about this,
Did you want him to have one?
Yes.
this is the final one, this is not?
That, yeah, this is the final set of numbers here.
Sure, okay.
So first of all, thank you all for your patience. It didn't take that long.
You're buying lunch today, right?
That's
Okay.
right, yeah.
You're not you don't know what was said.
That's true, that's true. I gotta be careful when I'm committing myself to. So yeah, so state law requires, first of all, you all are more familiar with my colleague Joe Serrano, but I'm Tyler Ellsworth from QTAC, County's Bond Counsel.
And your first name?
Tyler,
Tyler?
yes, yes. And I'm here with our new associate, Emma Kate Dillon, who's
helping out. So he's joining me here today. So at 10 o'clock this morning, we took bids online to purchase this second series of bonds for the jail project. And we had 5 different bids, which is a good showing. And those bids ranged in interest rates from about 3.69% to 4.06%. So it was a fairly tight spread between the lowest bidder, which is what we're looking for, and the 5th lowest bidder. And our par amount, if you look at this number here, the final closing memorandum, we're issuing $10,255,000 in principal amount of bonds here. That's the maximum of sort of the remaining authority from your election 2 years ago. That's the remaining of the $20 million in financing. There's a premium shown below that $10 million figure, $380,983.35. The premium is offered by the winning bidder as a way for them to increase the coupon rate on the bonds. You're paying an effective interest rate of 3.69%, but the bonds themselves have a 4% coupon. They pay you more money than you're asking for in order to have that 4% coupon on there, but the effective rate to you, because you're getting more money and paying 4% on it, is that you end up paying 3.69% effectively. So that's what that premium is. The $98,140.35 is the underwriter's discount. That's the underwriter's spread for reselling these bonds. That's how they get paid. They have to pay their distribution network and the financial advisors, et cetera, that are repurchasing these bonds from them. And so the net purchase price here is at $10.537 million. So that's the purchase price for the bonds. That's again almost $300,000 more than the par amount of $10,255,000. The second to last line, that $205,100, is the good faith deposit. That's the 2% wire. It's almost like earnest money that the bidder paid us, and we received confirmation of that just now. So state law requires that they put up 2% in order for you to accept their bid. That's the $205,100 that came in. And then this $10,332,743 at the bottom is the net amount. That's the 98% that's remaining, non-earnest money, that the county will receive at closing on November 19th. Okay. So I think overall it was a strong result. Nice to have 5 bids, and it was a little bit better result than your financial advisor, Greg Barnberg with Raymond James, was projecting. He was projecting a slightly higher interest rate. And
what rate was he projecting?
I think he was projecting coupons that were closer to 5%.
Okay.
And that, well, yeah, coupons.
His net rate was like 3.76.
Yeah. So the
how much first rate?
3.76, and this is 3.69.
Okay.
Which is not much difference, but on 10 million, it's a few dollars. So.
Yeah. It does, and actually to give you kind of a better sense of that impact, on an annual basis, debt service at the rate you got, principal and interest each year is about $770,000 to $776,000 a year based on these final results. Greg was projecting something in the range of $815,000 to $820,000 a year, so it's $30,000 to $40,000 better each year.
Good news, right way, anyhow.
Yeah. So that's a lot of numbers. I'm happy to answer any specific questions. I think at the end of the day, it's
What was our last bond number? Richard, you remember?
354.
I was thinking it was in the 3.5 range.
So it hadn't increased too much.
Not compared to everything else, but now the interest that we make off the amount of money sitting there. I know when we had the first set of bonds, we was basically making our interest. Yes.
We were just a shade under. We couldn't make over 3.49, I think.
Okay. So it was basically a wash.
Close.
This in here, you can't do anything with it, can you?
It won't be in the bank long enough, but 6 months tops. But I don't think he gave me a limit, but like the last interest rate I just looked at was 3.79. So if we collect a little extra, we're okay, because it's not that bank qualified.
And we could visit about that, but yeah, that'll be in the closing docs that we prepare. Exactly under what circumstances you can exceed the interest rate you're paying, and there are temporary periods where you can do that, so, yeah.
Well, for a short-term deal, you might be able to.
I asked him and he told me it was no big deal.
Yep.
Well, if it's only gonna stay in this bank for 6 months, where's it gonna be for 20 years? Is it gonna be drawn someplace where we can still draw interest on it?
It's sitting out there with bricks around it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
This will be gone.
Okay.
This will be gone
Well,
in
it's
6
gonna be
months.
yeah, you're right there, it'd be gone in
6 to 8, 10
6,
months.
7 months. We still got $12 million in our checking account, or 12 or 13. I forget what it is, so we're 3 or 4 months from even getting into this 10. What's the minimum date? The county itself still got quite a few funds coming in. Minimum date that this loan can be paid off, or this bond can be paid off.
Probably the closing documents will.
It'll be in the closing documents. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head.
7 or 8 years, or you?
Yeah, it's between 7 and 10 years, and you can prepay it at that point with no penalty. And you can't prepay it early. You
Right,
sort of wash
I understand
out. That's right.
If we
Yeah.
prepaid it early, there'd be a penalty, or we can't even prepay it.
You can't even prepay
Okay.
it. Right.
I know when we had our first 10, I was tied up, and I wasn't here, and I've never dealt with bonds before, so.
Yeah. No, that's how, I can't remember the exact date, but it's typically 7 to 10 years out.
Which would still be very beneficial to pay off.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You'd save a lot of interest if you were in that position.
Yeah, I've marked 8 years on here, and there's still a lot of interest rate down below it, so.
Yep.
Most of the interest is in the first 7 or 8 years, but.
It's still sitting in pile.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it looks like it's, you can prepay it on, September 1st of 2033, so it's 9 years out. September 1st of 33.
33?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I marked it off 1 year above that.
I won't be worrying about it at that point in time.
No.
Right.
I won't be worried about it for sure.
So now we just gotta do the resolution, is that what we've gotta do?
That's correct. Yeah, just a motion and a second and a vote on it.
Okay. Motion to approve resolution number 2024-941, a resolution authorizing the issuance and delivery of $10,255,000 principal amount of general obligation bonds series 2024 of Coffee County, Kansas, providing for the levy and collection of an annual tax for the purpose of paying the principal of the interest on the bonds as they come due, and making certain covenants, okay, with respect thereto.
I'll move.
Second. Moved by Knight, moved by Thompson, seconded by Knight. Any discussion?
I just seen this here on page A2, it's got a sinking fund redemption marked in red. Why is that?
Yes.
Why is that coming out?
So sometimes, normally, we've got this set up, and so there's 19 years of principal payments. And typically those are set up as 19 separate bond certificates. Sometimes a bidder will want to combine like 2 or 3 years into a single certificate, and we call those term bonds, and they have a corresponding sinking fund where that principal gets paid. The winning bidder in this case did not have any of those term bonds, and so that placeholder for the sinking fund, that language just came out of the resolution.
Stricken out of it.
I haven't seen that when we looked, or how we overlooked it.
Yeah.
This language, you gotta trust it, it's all paid out right.
That's right,
Yeah.
that's right.
Okay, it's moved by Thompson, seconded by Knight. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion passes.
All right.
We're now officially another $10 million in debt.
So just the 2 pages is all I need to sign, and then the one single sheet.
Yes, Jesse could sign that single sheet, please, and then all that they need to sign, you're right, is the page with,
There,
Yeah.
and then Jesse's on this one.
Jesse's on that one, but I've got separate signatures for you and he, and actually a few for Richard as well.
Okay.
So if you guys are okay sticking around a little bit, I can walk you through all that, but actually, yeah, so all he needs to sign is that first flag there.
Here on A1, I hadn't seen this. Under the United States state of Kansas, Coffee County, it's marked November the 19th. Does that need to be changed to the 21st?
It is November 19th, that's the date that we close. So
On
that's
Saturday?
No,
November.
November, not October.
Oh, I'm
Next
sorry.
month
Yeah.
when we get the money.
It's marked, okay, sorry.
All right,
I didn't catch November, I just caught the date back.
yeah, fair question.
Just this front page here, guys.
Do you have a seal?
Just
All
this
right.
one.
Okay, just that page only.
Just this one, I guess.
Ooh.
Get a new point card, they can't read it anyway.
You need paid one. It'd be like a doctor then, can't read signatures.
Right, right.
Be justified.
Took a lot of work
Yeah,
getting everything.
yeah,
Killed a lot of trees.
that's right. And there's a lot more, there's a
Richard,
lot
do you
more.
need more paperwork? You need more boxes of paper in your office?
We just got a couple, because we knew this was coming.
Oh,
What's
my.
old Joe doing today?
He's back in our office, but actually we're moving just a couple blocks away. And so we are the last of our Kansas City attorneys hanging out in the office today. They're waiting for us to get wrapped up. And then we're working remote for the rest of the week, and then we'll be in our new space a week from today. So he's back there kind of managing things from.
We got pretty well acquainted with Joe.
Yes, yes.
Comes in a lot, and
Yeah,
got a lot of trust in Joe.
he's a great guy to work with.
Are you like the Jeffersons moving on up?
That's right.
You know?
Moving sideways, maybe.
Moving
I don't know if
sideways.
we're moving on up. Depends on who you ask, I suppose.
We'll tell Joe hi.
I will do that.
He owes us a visit one of these days.
Yeah, he probably does.
You leaving, Tom?
My job's done here.
Got everything. What was you doing?
Just wanted to make sure I got your $10 million?
Correct.
Okay.
You bet.
Yeah, you guys got 1:30 meeting, or a 1 o'clock meeting?
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
Not too good. Are we done? Yep, we're done when they say.
Soon,
We're
yeah,
adjourned.
Angie and I's got other paperwork to sign, correct?
Yes.
We don't have to be in session for that,
Correct.
so
Correct. Yeah.
if everybody's tired of sitting around here, I can stick around and finish signing this paperwork. We can, Dawn, you comfortable with everything?
I don't even know how to answer that.
Just shake your head yes. Are you comfortable? No, but it's what we did the last time.
He's
so
sitting there studying, it's not gonna help, I can say that.
I rely on this guy and Richard back there to make
Yes,
sure
sir.
everything
Yes, sir.
is right.
Yep. Thank you very
Richard's
much.
pretty close for us to bark at.
Yeah.
Just down the hall. I think he could hear you if you raise your voice.
I bet he's got it.
We got a lot of trust for Richard, so.
Yes, sir.
I don't know what paperwork he can keep, I'll sort it out later.
Yeah. Well, winter time's coming on. We might need some paper to start fire with.
It started pretty good bonfire.
That's right.
I guess everybody's good. I'll hang out. We can adjourn it.
You didn't have any more executive sessions for
Nope,
today?
I covered everything
Okay,
beforehand, so we're
Okay.
good to go.
very good.
We can adjourn at 1:02. Have a good week.
Was Steve here?